Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I'll be talking about what a day in the life is like for a career. Today we'll be talking about what a day in the life is like for a certified nursing assistant. So I'll be talking about like what they do in a day, their shift lengths, the pros and the cons about the career, their salaries, just pretty much what they do in a day. We will be talking about general information about the career. So your program generally takes about 2 to 3 months to complete. In this program you'll have clinicals where you will actually go in to a hospital setting or like a nursing setting or even an old folks home, and you will help the patient complete what they need to in a day, and you'll get tested on it by your nursing professor or anything like that. You will need to be CPR certified to work in this line of work. So just in case like a code is run and you're right there, you're the first person on the scene, you can do CPR on that patient. You only need one certification. Generally, you only need one certification. If you want to do like, I believe if you want to do like an IV treatment, then you need 2 certifications. You work directly under a registered nurse. Generally, you work directly under a registered nurse. It's a rarity that you'll work under an LPN, but most likely it's an RN, especially if you're in a hospital. You can work at a wide range of places, from like a nursing setting to a hospital setting, assisted living care, hospice, the ICU, which is in a hospital. It's just a wide range of places that you can work from, so you won't have an issue finding a job. Next, we will be talking about what it is like to work in a a nursing home setting. Your normal shift starts about 7 a.m. You get there and you look what the previous CNA has charted, so you know what your day is going to look like. You have a lot of tasks. I know you only had a 2 to 3 month program, but you still are in charge of a buttload of things. You wake the residents up, you get them breakfast, you change their clothing, you may change their undergarments if they had a bad night, maybe dirty work for you. You check how many fluids are going in and out of the body. You get them from one place to another. You may be required to rotate the patients so they don't get bed sores or anything like that. Change their blanket, help them do their exercises, get their lunch for them, do their laundry. And when you're done with each patient, you have to chart what you did, because that's a HIPAA violation if you do not. Next, we will be talking about how many patients in a nursing home setting you have in a day. Generally, in a nursing home setting, you have between 10 to 15 patients a day, and that may seem like a lot, but usually they don't hire as many CNAs in a nursing home setting because they're smaller facilities. So generally you will have between 10 to 15 patients daily. We'll be talking about what attitude you need to be in a CNA in a nursing home facility. So to work in a nursing home, you need to be optimistic. I mean, mostly in all jobs you need to come in optimistic, but especially in a nursing home, because in a nursing home they're old and they don't see very many people a day, and you may be the only person that they see in that day. So really just come in with a smile on your face regardless of what is going on in your life. You just need to come in and a smile on your face and just say, hey, I'm going to take care of you today, and just let them know that they're safe. Next, we will be talking about how many hours a CNA generally works in a nursing home. So in a nursing home, it is generally stated that a CNA works 8-hour shifts. It is a rarity to find that a CNA works 12-hour shifts in a nursing home. They usually save that for hospitals because they get better benefits there. So if you're just starting out as a CNA and you don't want to work 12-hour shifts yet, I would recommend working in a nursing home. Next, we will be talking about what the salary is like in a nursing home as a CNA. So your salary is going to be low. You're at the bottom of the food chain. So as a CNA in a nursing home, your salary is going to be $13 to $15 an hour, which is not great. I don't know if you get benefits in a nursing home, but $13 to $15 an hour, and say you're like 16 to 17, that's not that bad. Now let's talk about what a CNA shift is like in a hospital setting. So you get there around 7 a.m. because that's when your shift starts. But when I have stayed in the hospital, like as a patient, my CNA had got there at like 6:30 because they wanted to review what the past CNA had charted beforehand. Your tasks are pretty much the same as what they are in a nursing home. You'll check the vitals, you'll bathe them if they need help. Generally, in a hospital, they don't need help bathing themselves because they're not as elderly as they are in a nursing home. So if you don't want to help bathe old people or patients, then I would suggest working in a hospital. You'll help do laundry, toiletries. Also with toiletries, you generally don't need to help them do toiletries. You may need to help walk them to the bathroom. I know I have needed to help walk to the bathroom when I had frostbite, so that may be a thing that you need to do. You may need to help get their meals or take their vitals. I know I needed my CNA to help take my vitals, get hot blankets, do rotations if they have bed sores, and you definitely need to chart whenever you do this, because like I said, it's a HIPAA violation if you don't chart. You also may be required to set up empty rooms for new admissions and then file papers. We will talk about how many patients you'll have. So in a hospital setting, you have less patients because there are more CNAs in a hospital because it's a bigger facility. So you'll have usually 8 to 12 patients a day, but more likely 8 because, well, like I said, in a hospital, it's such a big setting that you have a lot of CNAs in a hospital, especially like the big hospitals like U of M or like Mayo Clinic or Cleveland Clinic. They have a lot of nursing assistants, so they usually have between 8 to 12 patients a day. Once again, with the attitude, you need to be optimistic because your patients need to feel safe. You don't come in all grumpy and groggy and everything like that because your patients will get a negative attitude from you. So no patient wants a negative attitude from the person that's supposed to be helping them. With hours in a hospital, CNAs generally work 12-hour shifts. So if you're just starting out and you're a CNA and you think that you can work 12-hour shifts, then a hospital's okay for you. And if you've worked in a nursing setting and if you've worked 8-hour shifts and you think, wow, I think I can do 12 hours, then I would say maybe you should check out a hospital setting because it's rare that you will work an 8-hour shift in a hospital. Next is the salary in a hospital. It's usually $10 to $16 an hour. There is just a small gap to grow. As a CNA, you essentially are the bottom of the food chain. So there's not much room to grow because your program length was so small. You don't have an associate's or a bachelor's or anything like that. So there's not much room to grow, but $16 an hour at the most is not awful, but it's not a lot. Next, we will talk about the pros and the cons of being a CNA. I will start with the cons first so I can end on a good note. Number 1, it's a very physical job. If you have a bad back, you have arthritis in your knees, you already have like a lot of health issues, this job may not be the best for you. Really, any healthcare job may not be it because it's physically draining. You have to lift patients all day. You have to rotate them. They're heavy. They're more than 75 pounds. They're heavy. You may have to do it on your own. You may not get a partner. You're also on your feet all day. You may be on your feet for 8 hours, 12 hours a day. It's a lot on your body. Number 2, it's also emotionally draining. You may get very invested in your patients' lives, and they may die, God forbid, or they may get discharged and you may never see them again. You just have to learn not to take that home and let it affect your relationship at home. Number 3, it pays low. It's a low paying job. I mean, like I said before, it's a small program. You only have 2 to 3 months for a program, which is great, but it's a low paying job, especially with this economy. It's not enough to support a household. It's pretty much less than a Walmart employee. Starting at $10 an hour, it's less than a Walmart employee because they make probably $11.50, I think. Number 4, it is the bottom of the food chain. I mean, there's a CNA, an LPN, and then an RN, meaning everyone is gonna throw their load onto you because you're at the bottom. So you're gonna have a heavy workload. You're not gonna have time for anything. You may not even have time for a break. Throughout your 12-hour shift, you may not have time for a break. You may not have much time for a lunch. So if this affects you, then you may want to look into a different career. And number 5, coworkers may not be nice. This is gonna be anywhere. You may have shitty coworkers. They're just not going to be nice. And this is one of the main causes of CNA burnout. That your coworkers are not gonna be nice and they're gonna throw their load onto you, which is gonna cause CNA burnout, which means you don't want to go to work and you don't want to do your job. Next, we are going to be talking about the pros so we can end on a good note. So number 1, it is only a 2-month program, like I said. So you don't need to go to school for 2 years, for 4 years, to get a doctorate, for anything like that. And the price is not going to be over the top expensive. So you can see if your financial aid will cover it, which is great. Number 2, it is very, very easy to get a job as a CNA. You also don't need a ton of experience to get a job. It's very, very easy. Because CNAs are really in demand. They're a nursing assistant. It's really easy to get a job. If registered nurses are in demand, then CNAs are in demand because they're their assistant. Number 3, like I said before, there's a variety of places that you can work. You can work at a hospital, a nursing place, hospice. The list really does go on. There's just anywhere you can work. You can go on Indeed.com and search for CNA and a lot of things will come up in your area. A lot of things will come up, I guarantee it. You're not just confined to one place. A lot of things will come up. Number 4, it also has benefits. Being a CNA has benefits, such as paid holidays, medical insurance, overtime pay, and life insurance, which is really great in the long run. You just have to see with your place that you work at what benefits they may have. And number 5, you can get tuition reimbursement. What I mean by that is if you wish to further your schooling to become an RN or like an LPN or anything like that, you wish to further your schooling, then most likely the place that you're currently working at will pay for that schooling. Or if you wish to try to reimburse the money for the program that you already went through, the place that you're working at will actually reimburse the money. You just have to ask them. So I guess that concludes my video. Let me know how you like this video, if there's anything I need to work on. This is my first video, so just let me know how you liked it. Let me know what your experiences are in this field. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know things I can change and do differently. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.